My social worker, Cheryl, she's this cute blonde, I'm this little kid, and she would take me to the Oakland Zoo. She would take me to get ice cream, and I would always say to her, "Hey Cheryl, I'm going to marry you one day." And she'd go, "Oh, Derek." She never said no. But I just loved Cheryl, and I just loved the idea that she was my protector and my advocate. And she found this foster home that wasn't looking to be a foster parent anymore, because being a foster parent is a very emotional roller coaster ride. It's a big emotional investment. These foster parents weren't looking to be foster parents anymore. They were looking to adopt, and they had looked at 3 little kids, and they were now making their choice. And Cheryl, my social worker, said, "We've got this cute kid. He's got a big personality. If you don't get him, his dad's in prison, his mom doesn't want him. If you don't take him, he goes back to the psychiatric hospital." And you know what they said? They said, "Can we try him out for a weekend, Friday through Sunday? Just try me out." So as I'm driving up with Cheryl to the home, she's telling me, "Derek, please be good. Please be good." Because I've been in so much trouble with the other foster homes in the shelter. And I said, "Okay, Cheryl." And as I knock on the door, now there's a lot of anxiety being a foster kid. Where am I going to sleep in their house? Do I have a pillow? Where do I sit at the dinner table? What if I sit in some other person's place? Are they going to be mad at me? What if I don't like their food? Do I have to help clean up? I'm scared of the dark until like 12 years old. I'm scared, will they let me sleep with the lights on? So we knock on the door, and I have all this anxiety, and I knock on the door, and all of a sudden the door opens. And they say, "Oh," this man goes, "Hi, Derek, how are you?" And I didn't like happy people at that point. And I felt his happiness. I'm like, "Psh, how do you know my name? How do you know my name?" And I'm really frustrated. He goes, "Whoa, you have a little attitude. Why don't you run around? Why don't you run around?" And I'm like, "I don't want to run." He's like, "Just run around." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll run away then." He goes, "Fine, run," like that. And we run, and I run off the pavement onto a dirt road, and all of a sudden I see horses coming up to me on the fence line. And I never seen horses, and I'm like, holy cow, they're so huge. And then we get to a barn, and there's a bunch of rabbit hutches in the barn. They got goats behind the barn. They got pigs. They got a dog and a cat, and then they have the granddaddy of them all, the big prize. They have a bunch of chickens in a chicken coop. And that whole weekend you found me in one place, because I didn't want to trust any other human being. If my own parents got rid of me, who could I trust? You found me in the chicken coop. And I would go in there and try to catch the chickens, and they would scatter, except this one chicken, she wasn't scared. She's like doing her little chicken dance. Right? Doing her little chicken dance, and I sat my butt on the ground, and we're like eye to eye, and I start talking to that chicken. And I loved that chicken. I named her Wilbur. And Wilbur was my most awesome friend. And at the end of that weekend, it was time for me to go. And I threw the biggest temper tantrum, because I'm now back going to the shelter. And I throw the biggest temper tantrum, screaming, cussing, all out of control. And my foster mom says, "Derek, we don't act like that here. Get up." I get up, and my social worker, Cheryl's right there, and she says, "Derek, what's wrong?" I go, "See, they don't even want me, Cheryl. Nobody wants me." Well, those foster parents talked to Cheryl and said, "Can we try him out for a week? Can we just keep him for a week?" And that week was amazing. And at the end of the week, I knew it was time to go. I had my black plastic bag full of my little clothes. And I'm in my room, and my foster mom comes downstairs and says, "Derek, we have a surprise for you." And I said, "Do I get to take Wilbur with me?" And she goes, "No, you get to stay here a month." And a month turned into a year, and a year turned into years. They are my mom and dad. They never gave up on me. Thank you. They never gave up on me. They never changed the locks on the front door when I was a crazy teenager. They did it for their own biological kids, but they never did it for me. And what they realized is, I had all these labels, but what they realized is, okay, he has all these labels, but the real issue is that he's an angry kid, and rightfully so. When you go through a lot of abuse, you're angry at the world, angry at the violators, angry at everything. And so they worked on creative outlets for me, like music, writing music, learning music, playing guitar, piano, clarinet, saxophone. And they worked on me at 10 years old. I was 9 years old when I started to read and write. I was that delayed, 9 years old. And so my life transformed because somebody took the time to invest in me. That's what it really was. Somebody invested in me. You know, the greatest investment in your life is not your bank account, it's not your 401k, it's not your car, it's not your house, it's your children. I'm serious. I've met people that make $250 million. I met a guy who makes $1 billion. I speak all over. And you know what? They're not talking about their money. Sometimes they're talking about what's going on with their kids. The kids are your greatest asset. And so I am who I am today because somebody invested in me. Now, I want to show you the bond between a chicken and a kid. Look at that. Now, who's eating chicken tonight? No, I'm playing.